Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So in today's video, we are going to be doing MLM horror stories. We only have this one and one more left of the year, which is insane. So let's just get right into it. I would love to know, what are you drinking today? I currently have water. I already drank my chestnut praline from Starbucks and it was super good. So let's get into the first story. It says, "Hi, I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry this is a really long one, but I need to just purge myself. I'm Holly, I live in the UK, and I have a few stories I think are interesting in different ways. My first story is one that happened to my mom. An old friend got in touch with her. I think she knew him from uni, and he asked to stay the night at our house. We had a sit-down dinner with him, made him a bed, welcomed him into our home. Then the next day, he pitches some cleaning product to MLM. Oh, heck no. I don't know what company it is, but bear in mind, my mom keeps a super tidy and clean house, which she's proud of. He used a video and was apparently super pushy and desperate, and she's like, nope, that's a pyramid scheme. And they haven't spoken since. My mom was absolutely furious and upset by the experience. The relationship was destroyed." Next story. My partner was looking for a job after losing his job because of the pandemic, which was awful for us financially. And he gets invited to a Zoom call. It was an MLM on a job site, for God's sakes, stating it was a sales job. How is that allowed? It was a makeup MLM called Oriflame, and well, my partner isn't into makeup, but I listened into the Zoom call for a bit just to see if they said what MLM it was. I checked Oriflame out afterwards, and their compensation plan is whack and ridiculously confusing. It took everything not to scream at the woman or the women that were there for the opportunity and tell them about the failure rates and to run. My partner wouldn't let me unmute though, and I don't know if I could have helped. I felt powerless. So you need to know a little bit about me for the next bit. I work a 9 to 5. Well, it's actually a 10 to 3 technically because I'm disabled and I work part-time, but it's a corporate job. I seem like the perfect candidate for an MLM in that I'm vulnerable, disabled, easily persuaded, and can only work part-time hours, so would obviously benefit from more money and time off. Who wouldn't though? So some of my experiences that I think are maybe interesting. My manager was at work, gave out colleagues for her MLM business. I think it was Stella and Dot. She had this party I didn't attend, but I felt really guilty because she was a great manager and I wanted to support her. I didn't realize what it was at the time at all. People definitely shouldn't be allowed to hand out MLM stuff in the office. I thought it was odd once I learned it was an MLM because she's a really smart lady. I still think it's weird she got sucked in, but I guess they can get anyone. That's kind of scary to me. Anyone could get sucked in, and she was willing to suck more people in. I am eternally grateful I didn't go to that party. I also had a woman who I knew not very well, but was Facebook friends with, and she contacted me to sell Jamberry, the nail wrap. She definitely knew I was mentally ill. I blog posted about it, and I mentioned being awfully busy at work and life, hint, hint, but she was pushing for me to become a consultant. She did back off eventually, but oh my. Looking back now, she hit all the cliche points. They sell themselves, no targets, extra money on the side, all of that. She must have been using a script from an upline and I nearly fell for it. She was saying with my job, I work with so many women, so it'd be easy. Man, I am glad my partner told me it was a bad idea. I'd be so bad at sales, but as I said before, I look like a great candidate for an MLM. Of course, my mental health would benefit from actual time freedom, and of course, my mental health would benefit from extra money, not having to worry about finances so much, but I won't get that from an MLM, and they look down on 9 to 5s incessantly. Whereas mine gives me so many great benefits, which disabled people / long-term sick people in particular can really benefit from. Anyone can benefit because they're benefits. I get so angry that people like me who don't say no and don't have a partner there to say no could work themselves so hard and maybe make themselves sicker just to end up in that 99% and wonder what they could have done wrong. When they could have a clear routine, job security, a work-life balance, a reasonable adjustment for disability, a pension, paid maternity and paternity leave, paid holiday sick pay, which is super important, actual job job training / development, building a strong CV / resume, insurance / access to private healthcare, treats and cute gifts from the company / your line manager, free work events, and so many other possible benefits with what they call a boring 9 to 5. I'm actually so lucky I have my boring 9 to 5 corporate job. I don't know if you can get all those benefits in the US, and some is job specific, but I really have no reason to jump ship from an MLM or to an MLM. Thank you for all of your work. As a vulnerable person, I think YouTube has been such a great and simple way to arm myself against scammers, even if sometimes I still fall for them. Luckily, my partner is my guardian angel in that regard. I really hope these stories gave you some good talking points, and I'm so glad I found your channel. Keep up the good work. I really love your approach and the way you think about things. So thank you so much for sending that to me. So yeah, no, you did actually bring up a lot of great points. I love that you brought up the fact that you are in a vulnerable spot. A lot of people who struggle with maybe a disability or a mental health disorder, they are in a vulnerable position where they're susceptible to things like this, to scams, to multi-level marketing companies and all of that, because like you said, a lot of the times you can't get a job that works a certain amount of hours, or maybe you have to get sick leave, or you have to leave work a lot because you're not feeling well and things like that. With an MLM, when they sell you that lifestyle and what is possible that they say is possible with an MLM, but we know it's not, it can really appeal to people who are in your position. So you do bring up a great point. And also, like you said, with your 9 to 5 or 10 to 3, you said that you have things like a clear routine, job security, all of that. So that is what's possible in a 9 to 5, and not just corporate. There are a lot of jobs that you don't have to work in like a corporate building or anything, but you can end up working like 9 to 5 and get all of these benefits. And that's the good thing about having that stability there, where you know what every 2 weeks or every week, the amount of times you get paid, you have that set income that's coming in. You don't have to worry like, oh, is this week, am I gonna make profit in my multi-level marketing company? And then with your spouse, I am sorry that he ended up on that Zoom call. I hate when that happens, because I feel like in general, when it comes to MLMs, a lot of the times MLMs are actually not allowed to promote on job sites. Definitely make sure to look that up. I did a video a while back about LinkedIn actually has MLM companies banned from doing job postings, and you could actually report them and get the job postings taken down. Sorry, I hit my mic there. You can get the job postings taken down. So it does suck when someone does a job posting where you feel like you hit the criteria or meet the criteria, you get on a Zoom call and you waste your time. When it comes to job searching, I feel like and our time is very precious. The amount of time it takes to do resumes per job, the amount of time it takes to do applications for jobs and get on Zoom calls and interviews and all of that is such precious time that is unfortunately taken by MLM reps when they falsely advertise that they're an actual job opportunity when we know they're not. So thank you so much for sending me that story. Let me read, and you guys can listen to the next story. The next story says, "Hello, my name is blank. I am so happy you make these videos because before I joined my MLM Beachbody, there wasn't too much out there showing true colors. This will be a long story, so sorry about that. To backtrack a little bit, in 2014, I think it was, I had a foot surgery. I had rheumatoid arthritis. I think I got it. People always say, wow, do you already have the joints of an old person? Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease that causes my body to attack my joints, and I had to have surgery on my foot because of it. I was in a boot and had crutches. One day I was at Safeway, which if you guys don't know what Safeway is, I do. I lived in Washington. Safeway is kind of like a Publix for my Floridians, or like an HEB to my Texans, kind of like that. So she said, one day I was at Safeway and an older gentleman came over and asked what I did with my foot. I used to be very reserved about my arthritis, but at that point in my life, I was becoming more open about it. I said that I had foot surgery because of my arthritis. He said he sold vitamins and had a really good product that could help me with my joints. My dad was with me at the grocery store, and I was willing to hear what he had to say to help my condition. So we decided to meet at a local coffee shop a little later. My dad came again and sat with me through what he had to say. He suggested different vitamins, and I really don't remember much of what he said. I think I was kind of interested, but I let my dad take the lead. My dad said no thank you, and we left. I'm thankful he was there because he was able to see it was a scam. I didn't know what MLMs were, and I didn't realize it was a part of an MLM until recently. For some reason, I was able to remember what they looked like because he was somehow able to get the gym I went to let him sell them with our other products. I searched for MLM vitamins and instantly saw it. Usana is what products he was selling. In 2017, I had a Facebook friend post about working from home. I messaged her about it to see what the job would be. She asked what work I was looking for from home, and I pretty much said anything would work. She said, well, I found something that is really changing my life. I help people get insanely healthy and make a ton of money working from home. I literally said, are you trying to scam me? LOL, my gut already told me that this was sketchy. So as usual, she won't tell me the name of the company. I asked about how much she typically makes. She didn't answer that either. She asked if we could meet up and talk about it. I said, sure, why not? We met at a coffee shop and she pulls out a laptop. I think this was weird, so this random guy is talking about an amazing opportunity and all that jazz. Oh wait, so she pulled out her laptop and a random guy was like talking about the MLM opportunity and she just had you watch it. I feel like that's so weird. I've been hearing this a lot more recently, and sorry I'm moving a lot. My freaking back is killing me, but I've been hearing about this a lot recently with people going to like coffee shops, like meeting up with their friends, but in the end, they end up like showing a call or like a recruitment call or something at the coffee shop. Like they pull up their laptop. I find that very freaking weird, but anyways, let's keep going. Once the guy is done, he asks if I have any questions, and I said, no, not really. He says the following week they will have a group meeting to go over more details, and there will be a 6-figure earner there as well. He will share his story and we can get more details about the opportunity. I dragged my boyfriend at the time, now husband, to go with me. Thank God I did, because I'm not really one that likes to say no. We got there and the big earner was there. He had a super nice car that he earned from the company. He goes over all the details like products, how you earn, and recruiting. After he's all done, he talks to each of us separately. When he gets to me, he asks what I think. I kind of brush it off. I try to show a little interest, but not enough to make them think I want to join. He says, let me see your phone, and for some reason, I give it to him. He pulls up the website and puts in all of the information and says, all you need to do is put in your card information. As I said, I'm not really one that likes to say no, so I was like, and I'm sure I made a weird face. My husband says something along the lines of, we need to go home and talk about it first. We'll let you know in a couple of days. We drive home and think we dodged a bullet. I couldn't remember the name, so I asked her if she remembered. LOL, it was Kayani. I've talked about that MLM, like in MLM Horror Stories. If I remember correctly, they sell wellness products and vitamins and stuff like that. Fast forward to August 2018. I had been working full-time for about 2 years at this point. As usual, once people start working full-time, they put on weight. Well, I guess not everyone, but I sure did. A friend from high school was sharing about how her mental health was getting better and how she was losing weight and becoming a better version of herself. After a few months of me watching her stories, I decided to reach out to her. I asked for the company name, and surprisingly, she gave it to me. It was Beachbody. I said, okay, let me look into it and I'll get back to you. So I Google and YouTube the devil out of Beachbody. At the time, there wasn't anti-MLM content. All I found was team calls, and there were a few people who talked about why they quit Beachbody. For those videos, they still have a very positive spin, and they pretty much said it is a lot of work and you have to be hardworking to make it. I consider myself a hard worker, and I try to put my all into everything I do. So I figured it would be fine. My husband, once again, was very sketched out. I said, even if I don't make money, at least I will have the workouts for a year. They were already brainwashing me. I joined with the pack that had Shakeology, Energize, and Recover. Ooh, that was a big pack. She says, I think it was around $200. I said, if I'm going to do this, I need to try more than just one product. I received the product pack and I tried the famous Shakeology. I have a lot of random allergies, and Shakeology had something in it that caused a reaction. I got sample packs, so I was like, well, I guess I'll give them out to people who want to try it. I joined all of the team pages and did all of the things. Now time for some juicy stuff. While I was in my uplines page, she said to give Beachbody a year. That will truly give you enough time to see if this was a good fit. I said, okay, that makes sense, SMH. Another thing was I would always see people do sponsored posts. One time, the same girl brought up her sponsored post. People were asking questions, so she addressed it. She said every weekend she spends around $200 on ads. So sponsored post is advertisement, like advertising on Instagram. I did this too, because back then it wasn't really like a big thing for Instagram to like do what they're doing now, where you can't do like MLM ads or MLM ads. That was definitely something I did too. So back to the story. She said every weekend she spends around $200 on sponsored posts. She said she makes it all back and then some. So what did I do? I tried a few sponsored posts. I paid $551 and made $0 from it too. They also say sign up your close friends and family. I signed up my husband and my sister. I hit Emerald and my upline hit Diamond. A little later, my mom joined and 2 other people I knew. That was all that I was able to recruit. I feel terrible now for roping them in. Some of my uplines would say if you need to pay for their accounts because in the end it will make you more money. I was paying for my membership, my husband's, and my sister's. I had to keep all of them active as well to stay Emerald. So you can imagine I was putting a lot into the company. Let's do the math. So in order to hit Emerald in Beachbody, you guys know I was in Beachbody for 2 years. In order to hit Emerald, you have to have 2 reps below you. So 2 distributors, coaches, whatever Beachbody wants to call them. So in order to stay active, you have to pay $50 or more. Normally you would spend around $90 that I would see. So if we take 90, we multiply it by 3, that's $270. Now you also have a $15.95 business fee. So we have to multiply that by 3. So that equals over $317 that this person was spending just to make sure that she keeps Emerald. And the reason why I remember this so much, because I thought the same thing. I signed up my spouse too. And what they would say was once you get to the top of the MLM, you're going to be able to cash out of 2 accounts. So you'll have your account where you'll cash out, but then you'll have your spouse's account where you can put people under them and sign up people under them, but you're actually not allowed to do that. You are not allowed to control other people's accounts with Beachbody. So that is a rule. If you see someone doing it and you have proof, you can send the link to the proof that you have, and you can report them to the FTC and to Beachbody. So now, December of 2018, we PCS. So they changed their military base. Yes, I'm a military spouse, one of the groups they love to target. So of course, I don't have a job. So I said, this will really give me time to lean in. And what happened? Nothing. Still, no one joined. It was almost time for Summit. When I first joined Beachbody, they had a deal going on for the tickets. I was so excited, so I got a ticket. I found a couple girls to room with, and it was Summit time. I had to pay for everything: ticket, hotel, travel, food, gift shop, and anything else you could think of. If I remember correctly, I probably paid between $150 to $200 for the ticket. They always say Summit is a turning point for your business, so I went in with an open mind. To me, Summit turned me off even more. Shortly after I got home, I canceled my membership. I was in it for almost a year and lost so much money. I was able to find some of the numbers, so here it goes. So she says, so here it goes. I don't know if she meant to send the numbers, but I don't see them. But I can kind of do the numbers also because I do know them. So like I just said, she paid about $317 per month to keep her account active and the business fee for her and her, mom, or was it her sister and her husband? So we multiply that by 12. That's $3,814. She then spent how much? $556 on advertisements, on sponsored posts. And then she also said the Summit ticket was $150 to $200. So I'm going to put in about how much I spent at Summit. I spent over $1,000, so I'll add $1,000 onto that. So in total, she spent over $5,300 in her multi-level marketing company in the first year. She then said there was so much more that went on in Beachbody, but we can't be here all day. Haha. I don't realize that I have had so many experience with MLMs, or I didn't realize I had so many experiences. Most of the time, my family was able to keep me out of them, but Beachbody was the one I ended up getting sucked into. I have had so many people try to reach out to me about different ones. The typical one is Monate, Thrive, and It Work. I did have an old friend who did Zaya. It was crazy how many people there are now and how many MLMs there are now. And a lot of people try to be very sneaky to get people to join. I am so thankful you create these videos because, as I mentioned, when I was thinking about joining Beachbody, there was very little out there to show how bad people typically do in MLMs. I never heard about an income disclosure statement, and I think what you are doing is amazing. If I would have seen one video like this, I wouldn't have joined Beachbody. So I am so sorry to this person for the amount of money they lost, because that is so much and so much time. Like when you think about a whole year, I even think about YouTube, like in general, I have grown so much in a year from doing this. And it's like, you can have so much growth in a career field or in a business in a year, and in MLMs, they just take it from you. They take it. So let's move on to the next story. So this one says, to MLM Horror Stories. Hi, Deanna. I would rather keep this anonymous, so I won't be listing my name. Hope that's okay. Yep, that is perfect. I can tell you I am in Ontario, Canada. Also, I have so many MLM Horror Stories. I have 2 below, but if you want more, let me know. Oh, send them all. I say send them all. Let's read them all. I feel like in some of the circles I have been in, there just seem to be a lot of people in MLMs, fitness/weight loss circles. Story 1. I was maybe 18 to 20 and working on starting my own business. I had an idea of making a social enterprise, i.e. a business that also does social good, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted my business to be yet. I was a bit undecided and unsure in the direction I wanted to take. In other words, a perfect victim for recruitment to an MLM business. Anyways, I think in one of my businesswomen groups, I mentioned something along the lines of waiting to interview businesswomen for a segment on my blog or something about looking for weight loss programs. It was a while back, so I don't remember the specifics. Either way, I started talking to this girl. She DM'd me, and as we talked, she mentioned she was also on a fitness kick and wanted to lose weight and that she was looking for an accountability partner. I was so desperate to make friends and lose weight, I immediately told her that I would love to be accountability partners. Now, the rest of the details are a bit fuzzy since it's been a while, but long story short, she sent me a link for the program she was thinking of using that a friend recommended to her. It was basically just shakes for all meals for like 2 weeks or something. She said she was starting with that, but thinking of doing a month-long one after. That's, oh my God, not good for you. And how she was also excited to dive into the workouts, which came with it. She went on about the amazing flavors they had, how she had gotten some samples and just loved the taste, etc. I started being unsure, and I think she sensed that. She randomly pulled me into a new messenger group with her friend who, from watching MLM videos, I now know is her upline. And they both started pressuring me / trying to sell me these shakes and sending me links to buy it, reviews of people who loved it, telling me I needed to join, that it was a great community, etc. The more they did that, the more alarm bells started to ring for me. I'm pretty sure I ended up just saying no, but I would still love to be accountability partners with the girl, minus the programs and shakes. But after I said no, she never spoke to me again. Looking back now, that was a good thing. Story number 2. This one is kind of awkward. I worked with this girl, and honestly, I always had this feeling she didn't like me. She never did anything for me to 100% confirm that suspicion, so I can't be sure if I was just imagining it or not, but she gave me certain looks or backhanded compliments or questions gave me the impression that she wasn't a big fan of me. Anyways, we didn't talk much at work and never talked outside of work. When I left that job, I am not sure if I even said bye to her or vice versa. However, I was friends with her on Facebook as I was with all of my coworkers at the time. Probably over a year and a half after I left that job, I get a message from her on Facebook Messenger. She mentions something about how she knows I am super into mental health and that kind of thing, and she has just started a new business as a wellness coach and wanted to know if she could tell me about it. I had been watching MLM content at this point and jokingly said something along the lines of course, as long as it's not an MLM. She replied saying she didn't know what an MLM was, so it wasn't exactly that, or it wasn't that. My response to that message basically gave examples of MLMs, including Arbonne, Tupperware, Beachbody, Mary Kay, etc. How people make money by recruiting people, and that it was really hard to make a profit / most people lose money. I didn't get an answer for maybe 20 minutes after that message, and she had been fast with replies before. So I did some digging, and lo and behold, she was with Beachbody. I felt really bad for her because she had made some posts on her wall about this new huge step in life, how she was so excited and had been wanting to make a positive impact for so long. I also noticed I had an invite to a Facebook group, which basically was just her saying how amazing Beachbody was, thanking friends for introducing her to Beachbody, giving deals to people who joined her team and bought products, etc., and how these deals would not last for long. I went back to Facebook Messenger and told her I saw she was with Beachbody. I didn't want to be mean or rude, so I basically explained that it can be hard to make money in these organizations and that Beachbody was an MLM. I sent her some Beachbody anti-MLM resources and told her that it might be worth looking into so she can make an informed decision on if she wanted to move forward with it or not. She never replied to my messages, and I eventually unfriended her, so I don't know if she is still with them. I think this is why anti-MLM videos are so important. When you are in one, I think it's really hard to get out. It probably didn't help her that her family and some mutual friends were commenting on her posts and saying how proud they were of her and how they were so excited to see where this journey would take them. Those friends probably didn't know about MLMs either and genuinely thought this was her starting her own business. If I am right and she didn't like me, she most likely didn't take what I said over the support she was getting from mostly everyone else. Hopefully she's doing well now. Thanks for reading from a 20-something-year-old Canadian girl. The Beachbody one, just dagger in the heart, because I freaking remember that. Like, I remember so much about the fact that I didn't know Beachbody was an MLM, or I didn't know in the beginning that it was a multi-level marketing company or what multi-level marketing companies were and the odds. And it really freaking sucks to see someone in that position and see someone go through that where you know that they don't know. And you're just like wanting to shake them and be like, girl, don't do it. It's an MLM. Like, she literally responded saying she didn't know what an MLM was. So now we can see how much education you get before you join an MLM on what the actual opportunity is. So I say, let's read another one. This one says, gallbladder extraction due to Herbalife and other horrors. It says, hi Deanna, this is going to be a long one, so get ready. And also with this one, I'm not going to post the screenshots of the email on the screen because it's like really large words and it would be like a million different screenshots. So probably not going to get that on this story. So this is going to be a long one. Feel free to use my name. My name is Vanessa. I live in Miami, but I'm originally from Colombia. My encounters with MLMs were a few, but one of them definitely marked a before and after in my life. My first MLM encounter was with a company called For Life, which sells health supplements, vitamins, and their famous transfer factor, which For Life reps claim can cure everything and anything, including cancer. It's infuriating. This was more than 10 years ago. I was in my 20s, broke as a joke, and had no idea what an MLM was. And to top it off, I was an illegal. I used to work for a Colombian bakery where the owner hired me in spite of not having documents. Obviously, I was overworked and underpaid. In that time, some of the customers were working with For Life, and they said that besides providing health and wellness, it was the business of the future. Some of them offered me the opportunity because according to them, I didn't need papers to join the company. Oh no. I dismissed it for a while until one day a lady who was at the bakery heard me complaining about the pain in my knees. I struggled with my weight and knee pain from a young age, and last year got diagnosed osteoarthritis, and right there she told me she had the solution for my illness, the famous transfer factor. I really wanted to buy the product, but it was insanely expensive. Imagine more than $60 for just a bottle of 60 capsules. Then she told me that I could enroll as a distributor to get discounts on the product. I don't remember how much the fee was to enroll, but I know it wasn't cheap. Also, I went to one meeting where the lady and her team were pitching the opportunity to me and another 50 people. I felt very uncomfortable because the cult vibe was in the air. One day, after not having recruited anybody, my upline, who was very kind, still very pushy, invited me to her house to have one-on-one training. Now, so many years later, I realized that she wanted me to see her nice house, cars, and lifestyle to try to encourage me to do better. To make matters worse, she was a Christian, and I am a non-believer. And she told me the reason why I was mentally blocked to pitch the opportunity to others was because I wasn't close to the Lord. In that moment, I knew I had to get away from her because I wasn't going to let anyone pressure me into believing, in my opinion, religion and churches are tools that were created to manipulate the masses. Now, the juicy one. While working at the bakery, I met a guy who was also Colombian that I became close friends with. We would hang out here and there, and he also used to go often to the bakery where I worked to have some goodies. As well as me, he also struggled with weight, but also with constipation. There was a time that he vanished, but I thought he was busy with school since he was studying to become an airplane mechanic. One day he passed by the bakery and I was shocked to see him. He looked like another person. He had lost approximately 40 pounds and was all smiling and wearing his Herbalife button that goes by, "You want to lose weight? Ask me how." That's so weird. Like having a button, "I lost weight, you want to know how to do it too?" Or like something weird like that. That's weird. That's weird. I was shocked by his appearance that I couldn't refrain myself from asking, and his smile grew greater than ever. He told me that if I was interested in how he lost so much weight, he could arrange a meeting with his brother and sister at their place, and that they could guide me through. I also knew them. I accepted and was more shocked. I got there and saw that also his sister and brothers have had amazing transformations. And that's how I fell into the Herbalife trap. The first week I lost 6 pounds and I couldn't believe.
Yeah, what's up, YouTube?
It's like the old days. I was remembering you used to do that in so many of my old videos.
What, just randomly pop in?
Yeah, like videos from like a year ago.
Yo, what up, YouTube? You know they love me more than you. So,
Bet they do. Anyways, she said, I lost 6 pounds and I couldn't believe because nothing had worked for me before. I was happy with the weight loss. I can't deny the effects of the aloe vera tea and shake after you take the 3 of them because it is a laxative bomb. It is now only that I realized how much harm I was doing to my digestive system. I became an Herbalife distributor for the discount, but also I was beginning to believe that it was possible to make money while helping others, but recruiting and selling the product proved to be very challenging, as well as the many people who told me openly that they thought Herbalife was a cult. In the end, my natural rejection for cults ultimately steered me away from it, but the worst was yet to come. If, while I was not in for the business, I kept my account for the discount. In 2014, I started feeling symptoms of bloating. Almost every meal would make me feel sick. Even water made me feel bloated. One night in March of that year, I came back home from a party where I had been eating a lot and also had a few drinks. I started feeling a sharp pain on the pit of my stomach. I tried drinking the aloe vera with water because supposedly it helped to reduce the irritation of the stomach after heavy foods, but ended up taking Pepto-Bismol, which helped me relieve the pain. Days went by and I got sicker and sicker, and on May 31st, had to go to the emergency room. I was diagnosed with gallbladder stones and had one particularly problematic because it was obstructing the bile duct, which could cause me peritonitis. I don't know what that is. I had an emergency extraction surgery. When I asked my doctor why someone my age, 27 years old, would have had developed this illness, he told me that my fast weight loss was a contributing factor. From that moment on, I stopped taking the nutrition stuff and developed a hate for Herbalife that I never thought possible. My recovery wasn't easy. Getting my body adapted to this not having a gallbladder was not funny. I got sick many times and couldn't eat a lot of foods for a long time. Nowadays, there is only a few things my body doesn't tolerate well, but at least I can eat one of my my greatest loves again, pizza. I have also made significant changes in my eating habits, and I have introduced exercise as part of my life little by little. Oh yes, I gained all the weight back. I am not where I want to be yet, but at 34, I can tell you that I feel my best. I learned to love my body and for what it does for me. I am learning how to take care of it and nourish it. I don't even know how I found out about the anti-MLM realm. I guess it was because someone offered me Monet and I started doing research on it. I found your channel, Savannah's, and Chelsea's. Later on, I found Isabella's, and thanks to you ladies, I learned what a MLM was and how to detect the bullshit. I only longed there would be more content against MLMs in Spanish. My Latino community tends to be much more vulnerable to fall into these scams for multiple reasons. I want to start a channel of content in Spanish because I want to raise awareness in my communities, but have had technical difficulties. Thank you for what you do. Oh, okay, so reach out to me if you want to. I can totally help you with what your technical difficulties are. So email me, let me know what's going on. I know I'm the worst with responding to emails, literally the worst. I don't think anyone is worse than me at responding to emails. I'm actually better at responding to DMs than emails, even when my DMs get full. But send me an email and title it something like, your name, and then say that you're having technical difficulties and I can help you out. Just let me know. I love helping people out with that because I also agree that I think that I think the Latina community is a community that is really vulnerable to Herbalife in particular. Herbalife, oh my gosh, that is the one MLM I see so many of the times roping in your community. And I feel like having a whole YouTube channel in Spanish could be so helpful. And honestly, if anyone knows any other language, I feel like it's amazing to do videos in that language because you're helping even more people that don't speak English and all of that stuff. So yeah, I totally think that that's amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. I can't imagine having to have your whole gallbladder removed, but I am very happy for where you are now. I hope you're doing amazing. So I feel like I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment and subscribe to my channel. I have a goal of hitting 20 20,000 subscribers by the end of 2021. Because why not add all those twos? Let's see if we can make it happen. And I'll see you guys in the next video.